Hey everyone, it's Karen Jean from Ex Libris Crafts. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are on part 4 of making our journal. And to review, here is the journal. We got the closure in. It's been tied up overnight, so it's staying closed a little bit better, right? Lovely, lovely. I will show you what I've been busy doing and why I'm having horrible back spasms right now. So, oh, there goes that picture again. So this is the fabric. This was scraps of fabric that I covered the inside of the spine with. So I just made little ruffles with that to use for some decoration on the sides of the paper. So toss those aside. Okay, and this is what I have. These have all been cut down to 10 by 7 to fit in the journal. And I'm telling you, these three, which I just finished, I had such a time doing it because I did them a couple of different ways. This is very pretty tissue paper. And so I cut it down, and I was going, the same scrapbook adhesive that I used to glue the paper onto the signature cover, the cardstock, is what I wanted to use for this. You really can't see it. It's very hard with that. It's smooth. It's just, it's not the best way to do it, I've decided, because I wanted to double it up. I wanted to double it up to give it a little bit extra so it wouldn't tear as easily. So this one was done with scrapbook adhesive. Then these two, I just used Elmer's glue, and just kind of glued all around the one edge and folded the other over and smoothed it out as I went, and it was so much easier. But this is very pretty. I have different kinds of tissue paper. This is very pretty tissue paper. So that is, so I've picked that. I also have this here, and there should be 3. There are 3, which is just a nice sheer fabric to give it another little bit of texture, right? So I have 3 of those. And these here are 2 different kinds of paper. There should be 3 here. Let me count. Sometimes I'm bad. Yeah, this is 3. This is a bit thinner than this. This is heavier paper. They came from 2 different empty. This came from that guest book that I bought on clearance at $5 at Michael's. They're a little bit different colors. I don't know if I'm going to use both of them. Probably, because why not? Why are they not the same size? Oh, because this paper is smaller all around. That's fine. This is one signature cover, all cut down. This is another signature cover, all cut down. And I made sure that when I was cutting it, that it was going to be even with the crosses. I wasn't going to have any wonky crosses. And this is the other, whoops, no, signature cover, which I did not back with because that is just fine. So there we have our 3 signature covers. Then we have, these are the 3 pieces of just plain cardstock that I cut down. And then this morning I was dyeing some yellow paper. There's the pink paper that we pulled out yesterday. And this is yellow paper that now it's obviously, this is more of a goldenrod. I could have put it, but I figured it'll go fine. Where's my, pull over my little scrap piece here. I think it'll be fine. I'm not going to go matchy-matchy with the color. I'm not even going to try to attempt to do that, but I think that'll be fine. So now what we need to do is separate this all into 3 piles. And so we have 3 of each of the yellow. Separate the, I need room. Yes, it's off. It's off screen, and I'm sorry about that. One pile's off screen. Okay, and then we have 1 each of these, right? And then we have 3 pinks. I suppose I could have used all the same color cardstock, but let's, you know, because everything else is samey. Whoops, somebody has 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. You have 4. There we go. And now we have 1 for each of these. I know, this is the exciting part, right? Watching me separate paper. Oh joy. 1 of each of those. a piece of fabric like that. One of each of these. And the signature covers. Oh. Now, I think the butterfly one I want to put in the back. The cross is in the middle, the birds up front. And let's count. 1, 2, I don't count the fabric. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's more like it. That's more like it. Okay. And now to organize them. How do we want them? First, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause this video here so that I can fold all these papers in half, because you don't need to watch me fold papers in half. And maybe I'll put them in some kind of order and I'll come back. Okay, I'm back and I have, whoops, I have this pulled out because this here, the Because Jesus, is going to go across a 2-page spread because it's not going to fit unless we do something like, it's just not going to fit. So I'm going to put it in the center of the center signature, but the signatures are done. This is going to be the first signature here. Okay. And this is what I have. Now, and this is something we need to think about too. This lace is, I've used Tombow, here we go, removable adhesive. It's a temporary adhesive, Tombow, and I use that, oops, to try to keep the lace down when I sew in the signatures, to keep everything straight. So this is the first signature. Okay, and the center of the signature is yellow. And this is the second signature. Isn't that so pretty? Butterflies. And I put this goldenrod one as the center of this signature to make it like sunshine. So I'm going to pull this one out right now. And I'm going to clip these guys back together. Try to keep them in order. Okay. And this is the third signature. This is the one that's going in the back. The butterflies. So there's that one. Whoops. Let's get that in there. Okay, so this is going to be the center of this signature. Because Jesus. Peel it away. My dog just had her supper. And so she's probably going to start acting the fool and running around. It's a rainy day here today, and she absolutely hates the rain. I guess as most dogs do. I don't know. But she refuses to go outside in the rain. But she normally goes outside after she eats. But anyway. Because Jesus. Because Jesus. Use this just to make sure it's all nice and sticky out. And I was also thinking, was there anything else I wanted to do to the pages? I usually decorate pages after I sew them in. Was there anything I wanted to do to them before I sewed them in? Now, here's the yellow. Remember I said I'm still going to use the yellow. I can use the yellow on the middle signature and that pink I wish I had the greenish color there. I have 2 different greens and a blue, none of which matches. So, ooh, definitely don't want to do pink there. We could do yellow. All right, I'm sticking with the yellow. I have my spine templates folder here, and this is the template for an 1.5 inch wide spine, which is what our spine is. I have my Crocodile 2 chomper here, and it's just like the single one that I had, the eyelet setter. You have the 1/8 and the 3/16. You move that up here, and as you can see down here is where that comes. Let me move it there, and see that one is much bigger. And then the same thing with these between the 1/8 and the 3/16. But I'm not setting eyelets, I'm just poking holes. Let me get the book frame. Okay, right in there. Right in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well. That's because this is for a 6 by 8.5 book. So of course it's cut off. I do not think that's for a 9-inch book. That's 6 by 9. That's for, most of my books are 9 inches. 6 by 2.5 inch. Let me see if this one might be better. I need to mark the center. Hold on. Oh. Could do it on the outside. Do it on the outside. So it's not quite 2 inches. Oh, Lord. It looks like 1 7/8. Okay, so I'm just going to set the center. I'm just going to do a 1-inch center. Usually I just need to, all right, 1-inch center. And now the dog's up here and she's gonna whine. She's gonna whine because she can. A lot of this stuff I just eyeball when I'm for doing centers and things like that. There. And now we just line it up here. I can't see. I hope you can see. See where that's coming down right there? We're just going to line that up with that circle I just drew and and chomp away. Now remember that the spine has double the cardboard, has double fabric, has double Tyvek tape, and also has double sticker paper. So, it's a pretty sturdy spine. I should probably run this through some tinfoil too. All my tools, sharpen them up. Oh, gosh, I'm tired. Okay. All our little bits and pieces. Now I flip it over. And you see how sometimes it didn't cut all the way through the fabric, so I just go around and make sure that that is all off and flush. Okay, so there are those. Now, oops, everything's falling on me again. The signature. Now I have to chomp holes in the signatures. This is where I need to make sure everything is all as even as possible. Line it up with the bottom of the paper. And hopefully see the crease line that's there. Hopefully. All right, my head's going to get in the way as I'm trying to see. There's a line going straight through the center of these circles. All right, well, it's flush with the bottom of the paper, so. There's that one. And we're going to do the same thing. That one is just off center, but it's like stitching in the ditch. If you sew it all, you're going to chop in the ditch. Oh, I should have used pencil, but in case I needed to erase it. Oh, there's the dang dog again. The chomper goes back, how far does the chomper go back? 7 inches. All right, here there's some. Make sure it chomps through everything okay. Where's that one? This one, I think we're going to chomp on the outside. This here. Oh. Oh. This here. Tissue paper some reason looks a little crooked to me. But guess it'll be okay. Okay. And once again, it's much easier to see them on the outside. Let's chop away, chop away, chop away, chop away all. So this is going to be a pretty full book. Yeah, that one worked pretty good. Let's poke this out. Make sure it all came through. Okay. And number 1. Look on the outside of this one too. That lace is hanging down. I think it's just cut a little off, a little bit longer. There it is. Okay. Okay, one last time. Ooh. I'll do that just to get the excess out. Poke through, make sure it all came through. Nice clean holes. And now it's time to sew in signatures. One, two, 3 lengths, 3 widths, whatever. 3 times as high as the book, the height of the book. And we need 3 of them. And we're just about out of yellow twine. All right, I'm gonna go kick my dog outside. She's down there whining. I'll be back. Okay, well, wasn't that fun? We're back. Here is the journal. Here, you can see the fabric is kind of coming up off the top and the bottom, but that's fine. It doesn't lay flat. It doesn't lay straight like paper does because it's fabric, it moves. So, and here, I was a little bit concerned about this, the page migration. As you saw, I did use a bit of glue, just a touch of Fabrifix on each one of these to hold them down in place. Now, because of page migration, I should have thought of this beforehand. One way to cover that is to put some pretty lace trim on the side, right? Like so. And that would cover the paper migration. The problem we have when we do that is when we tie it, we're going to be tying up. My dog is here whining. I don't know why she's whining, because my bedroom's across the hall and the cat's on the bed and she wants to play with the cat. We would be tying that up. So this one, which is what I was going to use originally, might be too wide to do that. Flop it down as it flops down. So then we can use a smaller one, perhaps. And I have more of this. This was just a little piece extra. So we're going to do that, all right? And it is right there between the two. And we're measuring that right here. Oops. Shoo away. Between the two, and then we have that little bit. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to run a bead of Fabrifix just down here and place that bit of lace. I'm pretty sure this is all in frame. And we're actually gluing right over that ribbon. So maybe that little bit of glue I put on wasn't necessary. Okay, there. The center of that one goes there. I'm pulling it a little bit. I don't know if you can see, because I'm trying to hold the papers open with my hand. There are 7 little scallops that make up the length of the book. So I'm putting the center of the middle one, the 4th one, in the center where the ribbon is. I'm just holding it down as well, trying to get that Fabrifix to start drying. It usually does dry pretty quickly. When you see me rubbing my fingers like this, I'm rubbing the glue off of them. Whoops. Get the glue off my fingers. Little blobs of silicone-based glue. Okay. Doesn't quite go edge to edge, but I'm okay with that. More glue on my fingers. Let's do this side. I wonder if I have my super big clip here. I do not have my super big clip here. I probably should keep it here just for such occasions. Let's see if this one will... there we go. Okay. Hold those papers back. And this one, again, a bead of Fabrifix just on the very edge. Like so. Glue on the table, of course. Now again, the center goes there. Let's get this here. Oops. Oh, again, on my fingers. I don't know why I'm bothering rubbing it off. I'm just going to get more glue on it when I do this. That's why I use the top of my fingernail a lot, because I can't feel it if it's on the top of my fingernail. There. Okay. So there's that. We're going to do a couple more things here, and then we're going to call this one done. I want to, let me flip it open. I want to put the, let's see if I can do this. We're going to make these envelopes out of these large pieces of paper using the We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board. We're going to do that. But here, I want to put the Let Go and Let God. Let's put that down, hopefully. Let's hopefully put it down. If I can get the glue off my fingers so I can feel what I'm doing. There it is. Now, I do have a Cricut, which I just got. I don't know how to use it yet. Another way of doing this might be to cut it out of some of that, you know, Cricut vinyl. Design it myself. Could always do that. But this is what, 50 cents. The whole thing came from the Dollar Tree. So it's $1. Half of it's flowers, half of it's this. To lower it a little bit. Now this should peel easily, hopefully. Seeing it is removable wall art. Oh, that's a pretty strong stick though, let me tell you. Ah, oof. Okay, well maybe that helps that it's, all right, all the way down to the bottom. All the way down to the bottom. And whoopsie daisy, comes off the top. It comes off the top. So you know what? I guess I'm going to have to learn how to use that Cricut after all. Of course, I could put, and it actually looks a little crooked. You know, not this one. Give me one that's open. Give me one that's open. Could put a little lace on the top of it. Crown him with many crowns. But it's still evident that it's coming off the top. So, okay. I'll be using the Cricut for this. And now I know that if I want to use this, oh shoot, I'm ripping up the paper here. Oh, dagnabbit. I told you it had a good stick. This is fine. We can fix it by whatever we put on top of it. Let's see if I can. Gently, whoops, peel it off here. Oh, for goodness sakes, look at this. Okay. Well, I'm throwing that away. And I'll be going to the Cricut. So, lesson learned. Not a problem, though. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to tie this off to kind of train the book to... It's going to be a gator mouth, I can tell. There. Okay, we're going to put that aside for now. Move all this stuff aside. So, these, we'll put those in some other time. Now, the envelope punch board by We Are Memory Keepers. It tells you the card size, how big of a piece of paper you need, and where to score it. So, those pages are 5 by 7, right? So we're going to go to, here's 7, go over here, 5.5 by 6. No, they're 5 by 7, 5 by 7, 4.5 by 7 is the card size, which means the envelopes are made a little bit bigger. So we're going to go here to 4.5 by 6.5. 4.5 by 6.5. The paper needs to be 8 by 7/8 square. Okay, so I'm going to take these over to my rotary cutter because it's just easier, and I will be back. And here we have them. 8 by 7/8 square. Now, 4.5 by 6.5. Let me make sure you can see this. 4.5 by 6.5. Where's my little thing? 4.5 by 6.5, 8 by 7/8 square, 3 3/4. Okay? So here's the 3 3/4. You only need to worry about that first measurement when you're doing your first cut. Okay? So you measure it to 3 3/4. You punch that, gives you the little punch cut out, and then in here there is a score line, and you just score it down. Now, as you turn it, for every other thing, you're going to line up the score line with this edge right there, the thing that's pointing out. And you're going to punch it, and you're going to score it. And you're going to move it around, and you're going to line it up, and you're going to punch it, and you're going to score it. And once again, you're going to punch it and score it. And just to show you, you might not be able to see the score lines. You can see them here. And then you just fold it on the score line. Fold this one over. Fold that one over. Fold this one up. Hello. There's that score line. There it is. I'll cut that up down and fold this one up. There. Now, what you could also do is back here is a reverse punch. So you put the tip in, punch it, and it just rounds off that corner a little bit. All right? I have a corner chopper that does the same thing. And there's one envelope done. Sort of done. I would normally fold this over like so. Okay. Fold it over like so. Just to give it a little bit more reinforcing. Then I use my tape runner, my gun. Just put a bit of tape there, fold it over, tape that down, just to give it a little bit of extra security. Then I use the tape runner and I go down the edge of the outside edge of that and the outside edge of this to make sure I do both sides. just to make sure that it is nice and together. And then that. And there's your envelope, right? How easy was that? Very easy. So, now we make 2 more. Voila, there are our 3 envelopes made. So, there you have it. I'm just burnishing these down a little bit. Another tip I'm going to give you is that when the paper's here and you're scoring down into the score line, be careful how hard you press because you can very easily tear the paper. You don't want to tear the paper, you just want to score it so you can fold it. Okay? And now these are going to be glued down in the book like this, so remember I said you're not going to see a lot of this pretty paper. It'll be glued down for an envelope and for a side pocket or a tuck pocket. Now let's see how big the envelopes measure. So the finished envelope measures 6.5 by almost 5. Like so. They have to go in sideways. And look at that. They are hanging off the edge of the paper a little bit. So we made them a little too big, which is perfectly fine. Another way we can put them in instead of doing that way is adhere them down this way and have them be a flip out, which is fun as well. We could also glue it down this way, right? So that this can be a tuck and flip it open over, and then it flips open this way, like that. So there are many different ways we can put these envelopes in here. And maybe, because we have 3 envelopes, we'll put them in there 3 separate ways. So that's it for today for, I don't even remember, I think it's part 4. This is Karen Jean from Ex Libris Crafts. We're only limited by our own imaginations. Let yours run wild. Thanks for stopping by.